Paul, Doc was mentioning that he felt like before the shutdown in March, obviously you guys win 10 of 11, probably the best you guys have looked all year to that point. How he felt like you guys were inching closer to that level of rhythm right now. How would you just kind of assess just where you guys feel like you're at entering these playoffs?
I think we're getting back towards that. Rhythm is definitely coming together. Chemistry is coming back together. I think we're at a good spot right now. For us, it's just fine tuning it, and I think we're doing that.
Move over to Miriam.
Hey, BG. So congrats on getting here. You guys, my question is, obviously Doc said that you guys will be disappointed if you don't win the whole thing, but what is your mindset going into a playoffs with a team like this? Is it championship or bust, or are you guys more philosophical about it? How do you approach it?
We want to win the championship. That's the reason we committed to be here. It's just, as simple as that. We should have one goal, and we have one goal, and that's to win it. But I think also we're looking at this thing from a long-term perspective as well, that if it doesn't happen, this is only going to build us even further going down the stretch, going into next season. But first things first, we're here to compete for that championship, and nothing else, matters but to win it.
We'll take a question from down in Orlando from Chris Mannix.
Well, having experienced 2 weeks of seeding games and the environment, do you go into the playoffs feeling like anything can happen, that this is just so different that things surprising could pop up?
Yeah, it's the bubble. Guys are shooting it well. I don't think it's that much pressure on guys being in a hostile environment. So that definitely changes things. Give the Phoenix Suns credit for what they did here. And I think also it's the bubble. Anything can happen here, and you saw it with them. They came here with a goal. Unfortunately, they didn't make it, but they did everything they could to make it. But it is what it is, bubble.
Do you feel any more comfortable having experienced the month plus in here as you look ahead to the next month with, kind of how you deal with the environment, off the court and on?
Ask that again.
Having experienced the bubble for the last month, the living of the day-to-day, do you feel any more comfortable with, the outside basketball stuff, whether it's how you do your routines and whatever you go through?
Yeah. Obviously, the longer you're here, the more comfortable you get, just from a surrounding standpoint. But, it is what it is. This is what we have. This is what this is home for us. Hopefully for the next month and a half, 2 months, however long this is. So that's first thing is first, you got to be comfortable, because it's going to show in your play if you're not. So I think you just got to adapt early.
We'll take another one from Orlando at Cassidy.
So what's up? Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
So Trez is in quarantine for a lot longer than you are in quarantine. Have you guys been reaching out to him? I know he's been on Zooms with practice, but knocking and dropping off food or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, no, we've been keeping tabs on Trez. We'll go and knock on his door. It's funny. After practice, when we walk in the hallway, he hears us talking, and he's like the dude peeking through the peephole. So we've been trying to do everything, just what he dealt with, the passing of his grandmother, and now he has to sit with that for 10 days or whatever, however long it's been being in this room. So we try, just to be around him, support him. It's tough to go through that and then have to deal with that in the room for 10 days. So we just try to be with him as much as possible.
We'll move over to Ohm.
PG, what's going on? You and Kawhi haven't gotten a ton of time during the regular season, and then the pandemic hit, and then you guys are looking to come into this bubble really kind of getting on the same page going into the playoffs. I was wondering, what have you and Kawhi gained in this last month and a half in the bubble entering the playoffs that's really going to help you guys?
Being in the bubble? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, just being on the bubble and on the court together, what you guys have learned.
It's same stuff. We spent a lot of time out of the bubble. I visited him. He visited me. We spent time in the bubble. For us, it's just more and more being together, learning each other, figuring each other out. The more we're together, the more and the better the chemistry gets. To where, I mean, for us, it's, you know, guys like the ball in different places. They like to play a certain way. It's just getting an understanding of where he likes the ball, his space and surrounding him, vice versa. That's all it really comes down to.
When you said out of the bubble, you meant like, do you mean during the season suspension or like during the season?
During the season suspension.
Oh, what did you guys do together?
Don't matter.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks. We'll move next. We'll take two more. Next, we'll go to Tomer.
Hey, Paul, just curious, you and Kawhi were kind of in a really good groove as a 1-2 punch before the hiatus. I'm curious, do you feel like it's gotten better since then? Has that helped at all? I mean, I know you guys have gotten better health-wise, but has it gotten better chemistry on the court together-wise?
Yeah, it has. Like I said, we visit each other. I went down to where he was at. He came down to where I was at. We spent time together. The whole group did, not just me and him on occasions.
Okay.
The whole group kind of spent time together through the hiatus. So I think we made up a lot of time, especially time that was lost not being together. I think we made all that back up during this hiatus. And, you know, it kind of expedited this process being here.
Great, and we'll finally go to Kurt Sandoval.
Hey, Paul, thank you. If you guys do get to your goal of playing for an NBA championship, that's almost 2 months down the road. So that means you'd only been in the bubble so far 1/3 of the way. Wondering if you could speak to how you and this team is doing mentally.
You know, it's tough. It's tough. You know, especially you calling back home and you're talking to family, and you know, it's. I think what makes it so hard being here is finding the schedule, because there's not much stuff to do here, and it gets to a point where you've done everything. So I kind of felt at a point my days was like running into each other, and it was hard to kind of break that up. But I think the biggest thing was just trying to find a schedule and sticking to it. And then here and there, I'll sprinkle in some different stuff just to make it a little different. So I got fished out second I got here. So, you know, it was just coming up with different things to do, different ideas. And I think the biggest thing was just getting out, getting fresh air, making that an emphasis.
Yeah, I think it's changed for all of us. You know, it usually comes down to, at the end of the day, the players you have and what systems you run. I mean, Rick's teams have always been efficient offensively. They've always had great spacing and movement. But he's played at a high pace with some teams, slower pace with other teams. You know, it really does come down to, unless you're very stubborn, which Rick is not, and nor am I, it comes down to the type of team you have and the type of players you have.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. We'll move over next to Jovan. You can go ahead, Jovan.
Hey, Doc. This season, Dallas, as you had previously mentioned, posted the highest offensive rating of all time. Obviously, Rick is a good coach, Luka's special, and KP is really good. But what specifically kind of makes this offense so difficult to game plan against and just defend?
Well, Luka. I mean, Luka just creates a matchup, and he has the ability to score. He gets to the paint. He's strong, and he's a elite passer. So, you know, there's no great offense that doesn't start with a great player, and he's a great player.
Great. We'll move next to Ohm.
Hey, Doc. Rick kind of likened Luka the other day, his vision and his playmaking, to Jason Kidd and Larry Bird. I was wondering, when you've gone up against stars like this, what's your general philosophy of how to slow guys down like this?
Well, they're all different. I mean, Larry Bird was a great shooter, scorer, where Jason Kidd turned out to be one of the great shooters, but he was more of a passer. Lucas, to me, is a little bit of both, and I think that's why Rick probably did that, because he is a little bit of both. He has the passing of Jason Kidd, but he has the scoring ability of Larry Bird, and that's what makes him such a difficult cover.
Thanks. We'll move over to Andrew Greif.
Doc, is there any update on where Pat and Landry stand in terms of being able to play Monday?
No, there's no update yet. We'll see. We have 2 practices, and if we can incorporate them in, that would be great.
Move over to Farbod.
Hey, Doc. PG and Kawhi were playing some really great basketball in the bubble. Is this the most comfortable you've seen them play together all season?
Yeah, I thought right before the break they were at that same level. I think we were 9-1 in our last 10 games, and I thought as a team we were getting great rhythm, and then we shut it down. And then I think now they're starting to work right back into that. And if we can get there, we're really good.
Thanks. Move over to Kurt Sandoval.
Hey, thanks, Doc. Coming into this bubble, obviously, you talked a lot about just wanted to make sure this team gets back to being cohesive. Where are you in that, and what's your comfort level on that as a collective whole going into this playoff game Monday?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we haven't been together much, so I like our spirit. I like our mental cohesiveness. I'll say that. But as far as actually being in great rhythm, I think we're close. But it's been difficult. We've had a lot of guys out. 6 at one point of our top 10 guys are not playing. So, but everyone's gone through something here. Would be my guess in the bubble. We've gone through our stuff. We hope to get Trez back by Monday. That would be great. And we'll just keep building from there.
And we'll take one final one from Cameron.
Hey, good afternoon, Coach. I got a 2-part question here. As far as team unity and that cohesiveness off the court, have you guys put together any team building activities, or has that been just amongst the players to kind of come together on their own? And then my second question is, being a champion yourself and knowing the potential of this team, how could this season be a success without you guys making it to and winning the NBA Finals?
Well, I think that's a good place to be, though. Really. I hear that all the time with all these teams since I've been in the league. I hope everyone knows winning the title is not that easy. It's only going to be one team. And so we want to be that team. And if we're not, we will be disappointed. There's no doubt about that. Us, the Lakers, Milwaukee, you can start naming the teams, So, but of all of us, there's only going to be one. And so, yeah, it's a great setup for you, like to be in that position. I love putting myself and our team in that position. We haven't had a lot of those here for the Clippers, and we have one now that we can actually say with true honesty that we want to win it all. And if we don't, we'll be disappointed.